at lunch. So thank you for joining me. And if you are joining me live, I would love it if you would just let me know in the comments so that I can say hey to you. And if you're joining on the replay, you can do the same. Just let me know. I'd love to know where you're from. It's fun to see all the different states pop up. That's always fun to watch as well. So, again, thank you for being here. I was almost late because I was engrossed in our May Lemonade Creative Heart lessons. And I thought that since we're on here together, I might could just give you a little sneak peek of what the ladies and I are going to be doing in May. So, Lemonade Creative Hearts is a group of women, and we gather together each month, and I teach them some lettering tips and techniques that they can add to their own handwriting. And then we go a step further and we are intentional about what we practice with. So we use song lyrics or Bible verses, encouraging quotes, and that's what we practice. And by doing that, that repetition, it's doing two things. It's helping with our lettering to improve our lettering, but it's also putting very powerful seeds of truth into our mind and in our heart, which as a result helps us have a better perspective on life, on everything in general by renewing our mind. So it's a really good group of ladies. Hey, Diane, I see she's joining from Indiana. It's beautiful here in Alabama. Um, it's cool enough that I put on my sweater, and I love to wear clothing that's layered. I think part of it's because I love color so much, and sometimes it's hard to decide which color to wear the day. So I can layer it, and then I can get more colors in there. So I hope you're having good weather. It's just beautiful here. And mentioning clothing, Evie got our new shirt done, so she let me go ahead and wear mine. We're going to do this is the shirt for our Lemonade Reminders, which is our encouragement kit, our monthly encouragement kit. And I do have a picture. This is our inspiration design for May, and I'll do an unboxing. Let's see, today's Tuesday. I'll probably try and get that done on Thursday so y'all can see what all we've put together for that kit, but I'll go ahead and just give you a sneak peek now. This design is one of the calendar designs, and the verse for this is Psalm 16:5, and that's such a powerful um, chapter anyway of Psalms. It's been a lot of fun to work on this one. So this is the one for the kit. It's also our theme for the lettering group. We just like saturating ourselves in this one. So I thought what I'd do is letter a little bit with you, since that's kind of what I'm working on practicing for the ladies in our scripture journaling group. So I thought I'd show you what I'm doing. Hey there. So with our kit, we put the note cards, but we also put these little shareable cards, and we always include enough for you to share with others. So that's a little picture, sneak peek of what's in the May kit. And I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but Mother's Day is almost here. So this would be a good Mother's Day gift. You could even get her a subscription for a couple of months. That'd be a nice gift. A good way to encourage your mom. So let's circle back around and talk about lettering. So let me see if I can fix my camera so you can see my paper. Don't forget, let me know you're here. Yeah, it is a good gift idea. I would like getting it. Hey there, husband's home. He comes home for lunch. Okay, so here we are. Can you see that okay? Let's see if I can get this up a little bit higher. So what I'm going to do, there you go. It was a little bit slow. So I'm not going to show you the whole lesson. You got to join us over there in Lemonade Creative Hearts to get the entire lesson, but I am going to show you because we would love to have you join us. So, can you see right over here where my finger is? I'm going to take this little flower that I'm drawing and turn it into a letter. And in our monthly group, we're going to do an entire alphabet. And it's fun to do this. It's a good way to train your eye to see things differently. So if you see right here, it's a little tulip shape. And the fun thing about this is with lettering, when you're doing lettering, a letter is actually composed of shapes. And you put those shapes together that you drew, and it forms a letter. And then we put the letters together to form a word. And that's how most things are drawn also. That's how I drew this little tulip. So I want to show you how I did that, and then I want to show you how we can make this into a letter, and then we'll paint it, okay? All right, so let me see if I need to get this a little bit lower. So I'm just going to make a simple oval, just a little oval. And then I'm going to take another shape that's a little bit of an oval and put beside it. Then I'm going to take another little oval, put that beside it. You see it coming together? Now let me get my eraser, and I'm going to erase that little middle line, this little middle line, like that. And then I'm going to just put a little, I don't know what you'd call that. Is that an oval, kind of? Then I'm going to do this little piece right here, another little shape, like that. And then I'm going to bring down that. You see that? Now watch what happens when I take it across this way. What does that look like? An L. Yeah. So let me show you how easy it is to now take that. Where did I put my paint? Here it is. Here's some paint. I think I'm just going to use what's on my little palette. Okay. Slide that over and get some water. And I'm just going to use a water brush. You've seen me use these before. I love these things. They're nice and portable, and I'm often painting on the run, on the go. You fill the barrel part with clean water, and then all you have to do is press the side of the barrel and water comes out. So I'm just going to get up a little bit of this green that I already had on my little plate. Got it on here. And then I'm just going to put it on my paper. And this is watercolor paper, and I'm just going to drop a little bit of color in there. And I like to just let the watercolor go where it wants to go. It's fun to let it do that. And I'm also going to leave a little bit of just plain paper on there. Let's get this a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, because see how it likes to puddle right there? So I'm just going to add a little bit more. Just drop it in there like that. Okay, then I'm going to pull this up. That, a little bit more green. Pull that down. And I'm just letting the watercolor do the work. It's just running the way it wants to go. And that's part of the stem. You see that? So I'm going to rinse that out. And I need to get a color that would work for the flower. So let me move this over here. So I'm going to get some yellow. And drop it on this petal. You see it? I'll get a little bit more yellow and put down here. And I'm just dropping it. but I'm leaving some space in there that's white. That's the natural paper. Think of it like that. Because with watercolor, it's hard to go back and lighten an area once you put the color down. So it's much better to do it in layers. It's easier to add than it is to take away. Right? So this little part of the petal that's in the back, it needs to be darker to show distance. This one right here is closer, so it needs to be lighter to show that it's closer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully add color to that, but I'm leaving, let me show you with this little section right here, white or just plain with no paper, with no color, until that dries a little bit. Because another thing about watercolor is it travels with water. So if the back of that petal is wet and the front of that petal is wet and the paint touches each other, then it's just going to travel together. So let me hold that up closer so you can see. Maybe too close. I think it's having a hard time focusing. It's probably like, why are you doing that? I may have to bring it further down so it'll focus. Is that better? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let that little layer dry. And then I'm going to go back and add a little bit more at the base. And I'm going to darken up this very back part. And that's going to help this front part stand out and make it look even darker. Okay, so now what I want to do while that's drying a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit more to the base of my letter. And I'm just going to now drop in a little bit of color. And the elbow, I call that the elbow of that letter L. Just put that right there in the elbow. And then I'm going to put a little bit right there. You see how it's coming together now? Okay, and I want to put a little bit more green. I had added a little bit of a bluish green there. So I'm going to do a lighter green right there and a little bit lighter right here. Okay. Now, I think that's dried enough. I can go back now with some yellow on my brush. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the dark, not the darker, but it's the same yellow, but I'm adding a little bit more down here to the base to help that look darker. We're just continuing to add the dark because you're building from light to dark, but you have to protect those spots that you want to stay light. Okay, now I'm going to add just a little bit right there. And the good thing about watercolor is if you ever get a little bit too much, you can take a paper towel, or if you're like me right now and you dropped your paper towel, here it is. Let me get it, see if I can get it without turning over my chair. You can grab a piece of paper towel and just kind of dab some of that up. In the South, you'd say sop it up a little bit. Get that? That's all it takes is just a little bit. Okay. And what I'm going to do is let that dry right here. Let it dry. And then I'm going to add a little vine with my pencil like this. A little bit of a leaf. This can be very relaxing, especially if you don't have a lot of pressure on yourself to be perfect. I'm speaking as somebody who battles with perfectionism. If you try and make it perfect, it's going to be stressful and you won't enjoy it. So that's one good thing that watercolor can teach you if you have trouble with perfectionism, because watercolor does exactly what it wants to do. You can guide it, you can coax it along, but it's still going to go where it wants to go. And so that can help you learn to work with what comes out. Work with what you've been given. Okay. Can you kind of see that coming alive now? We're going to make an entire alphabet of these this month. So I've put a link in the comments. I don't know if it's shown up yet, but if it doesn't show up, I'll go back and put a link in the comments for you to go check out our Lemonade Creative Hearts, because what we do is each month we have a different theme, and we base the theme on, most of the time, on what we're doing in the Lemonade Reminders. We letter those verses. And we always have a tool. Let's see what Diane is saying. I've been buying a few supplies to get started on some projects that you have inspired me to try. Well, good. Good. She's got the watercolor pencils. Yeah. I hope you enjoy it, Diane. I've got a few pencils right here, so I'm going to do the next one with a pencil. How's that sound? They're so easy to travel with. I love the pencils, and I love the Neo colors. I love to use those. This is an example. Probably need to pull it back up so I don't blind you. I've got this set. There, you can buy them in sets. You don't have to spend a lot of money on these. You could use Crayola. You know, you could use the store brand. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. Okay, so there's our L. And I was going to show you how we could take this now and put it together. So let me find my little thing. You seeing that okay? So I went ahead and drew this one out. And one of the words in this verse is, well, the verse says, Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. And that's from Psalm 16:5. So we could take these shapes that we're putting together to make letters, and the shapes we're putting together to make flowers, combine those together and make floral alphabet or floral letters. So I want to show you how I can take this shape and turn it into a bee. There's actually several things we could turn it into. And this is really good for your creativity, to look at a shape like that and think, okay, now what can I make with that? So I see I could make it with a bee. I could have made an L, another L. I could have done an R, a P, and what else could we do with it? M. We could have done an M. All right, let me show you one quick thing. Here we go. So this is a sneak peek at the alphabet that I'm putting together for the ladies. So see, they get these traceables, and this is what they can practice with. I could have even done an H. There's a lot we could do with these shapes and have fun with it. I could have made a V with that, a W, a lot of stuff. A P, did I say P? There's a lot you can do with this. So now what I'm going to do, since Diane brought up about the pencils, let me grab a pencil and let me show you something fun with this. So I'm just going to get this turquoise color, and then I'm going to get this green. It's kind of a, it's also turquoise, but you know, you get it. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and start coloring just straight on the letter. And then I'm going to take the darker and I'm going to color that in at the base. And I'm also going to do it right there in the, where the bend is, where it would probably be darker. I'm going to do it right here and there. So I'm basically putting in my darks. That's what I call it with the painting. the painting ladies, put in your darks. So I'm just going to trace over this. I guess you could think of it as tracing. I'm going to add this color over here, and I'm just kind of scribbling it on there. I'm not worried about getting it perfect, but I know that this is going to be my lighter color. This is my darkest color, and I'm going to let the natural paper be my lightest. So in this little right here, I'm going to make my darks. Now just a minute and you can watch it come alive. Okay, are you starting to see it? Okay, so I'm going to put some dark right there. Now, see how this is dark? It would be very hard to go on top of that now and add the light with the watercolor. I could do that if we were doing acrylic paint. I could add a lighter color on top, but it doesn't work that way with watercolor. You have to go ahead and make a commitment. Make a commitment with it. All right, so I'm going to make my little tulip this peachy color, and it matches my shirt. This shirt is it's a Bella Canvas shirt, and the color name is Sunset. I thought that was pretty. I'm ready for a beach sunset. Working on trying to find a time to get to go to the beach, and I'm going to take my supplies and just go and rest because we've had a lot going on. Okay, so now I'm ready to let's add some water, and this is where your water brush can come in. And I'm going to keep my little paper towel handy because if I get too much water, it's just going to go all over the place. So I'm going to start with my lights, just adding a little bit of water and watch. Isn't that so pretty how it starts moving that color? And down here, I'm just adding a little bit of water and it's just starting to blend that together. I'm going to squeeze it to get a little bit more water in my brush. I love using these watercolor pencils. I don't know if you know this or not, but not all color pencils are watercolor pencils or water soluble. That's another name for them. The way you can tell, and not all pencils have it, like this one doesn't have it. A lot of pencils, let's see if I had one handy to grab. Oh, yeah, right here. A lot of pencils will have this little picture of a paintbrush, and that's how you know it's water soluble. With this particular brand that I'm using right now, though, it's just got it on the case. See, this is a Derwent pencil, and we use this in the mixed media group. This got a little picture of a paintbrush. That's how you know. With this paint, with these, it just says use them with a wet brush or dip the pencil in water and draw. And it says watercolor. Little bitty tips. Okay, so I think I've got all of that turquoise wet now. And I don't know if you can see it very well on the screen, but it's moving the color. It's moving it. So now what I want to do is add a little bit of water to my flower. And I'm just doing very light touches. Can you tell I'm barely touching it? All right. And what I'll do is I'll let that dry. Let me show you, see if you can see. If it's wet, if the surface of it is wet, usually you can't get much traction if you tried to add it more. But with this one, it's proving me wrong. It's letting me add a little bit more color. So I used more of a fuchsia color because I wanted you to be able to see it. We're just going to blend those two colors together. And so now what I want to do is take a little bit of this fuchsia and I'm going to add a little bit over here, add a little bit down here, just sporadically. And it just kind of ties this design together. Just having little touches of it sporadically, little sporadic places. What do you think? Do you think you can do this? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you've used watercolor pencils before. Okay, now let me show you. This is a different green. This is number 58 from this set. They don't give it numbers. They give it, they don't give it names. They give it numbers. Okay, so now I'm going to go on the right side of the letter and add some little accents of this green. So did you notice? So with the fuchsia, I did it on the left side. Now on the right side, I'm adding the little hints of green, and that just gives it some consistency. And it just helps with the flow of the design. All right, let me know if you've got questions. Okay, you see that? It's just coming alive the more we add to it, isn't it? Do you think that you can overdo it? I can overdo it. I can certainly overdo it. So what I do, if you notice, I'm putting a little bit down and I'm pulling back and looking at it, deciding, is that enough or do I need a little bit more? And often, especially with watercolor, you can do it like that and then give yourself a break, come back and look at it and decide, have a better decision, because sometimes it changes as it dries, especially if you have a lot of water on the page, because those colors will shift. All right, so I'm putting that back. I'm going to pull out, they've got this really pretty gray. It's a soft gray. And I'm just going to add just a little bit. It's not really even showing up on that flower. Yeah, it's not really even showing up. Okay, so here's what I want to do now. So I showed you how we can take shapes, put the shapes together to form a letter. Then you put your letter together to form words. So we're going to do that next. But we also took shapes and put them together to form a flower. And once this dries, it's almost dry enough. The way I know is when the water is added to the paper, it softens the paper. And you can, if you're not careful, you can dig into the paper and it kind of doesn't look good. So I can feel that it's digging. So I'm not going to keep doing that, but we'll go over it and outline it a little bit, and that's going to help it come to life even more. Let's see, Diane, good. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's helpful. Yeah. So now we've put shapes together to form a letter. We've put shapes together to form a flower. So now let's put some shapes together to form a word. And I'm going to use the word blessing. I'm just going to use this May design as inspiration. So I think I want the capital letter to be what stands out. And so these other letters, I'm going to make them not as flashy. They're going to be a little bit more plain so that the capital letter is what gets the what do you say, the focus. Okay, so I'm just going to make a shape like this for my L. I'm going to add the second line for the downstroke. Then I'm going to make kind of an oval. Add the second line for the downstroke. And I've got an E. Okay, then I'm going to do this little crooked letter. Add that second line. Add another one. Y'all recognize that one, don't you? S. And then I'm going to run out of room, but we're going to pretend like this is straight. How does that sound? Nothing like doing things on the spur of the moment. Oops, hang on. I'm running out of room for my arm too. All right, let's move this over. So I've got a little bit more arm room. Just got to laugh about it. That's all you can do. second line from a downstroke, and then I'm going to make another little oval or a C or a half, whatever you want to call it, and then I'm going to do it like this, second line. Let's just do that. How's that? Pull that back up. It's not perfect, not at all, but that's okay. So now what I want to do is I think I'll use this gray that I had pulled out earlier and tried to use over there. I think that's what I'm going to use on these other letters to form this word, just because it doesn't need to be real flashy. It looks gray in the box, but when it comes out, it's more of a taupe. Okay. So with this particular verse, Psalm 16, and this is verse 5, I think. Yeah. We're just pulling out one word, and this would be our keyword. That's the word we want to focus on. Okay. Is this helping you have some ideas of how you can do this? Now I'm going to take, hey, Miss Amy. Amy's my sewing buddy. All right, now look at that. Let me get a little bit more water on it. I could have just squeezed it, but I forgot that I was holding a, do you ever do that? You forget what you're doing? I forgot that I was holding a squeezable water brush, and I'm just barely touching that. And then we'll just barely touch here. And what is happening is just enough water to move the color from the pencil. See, that's the pencil I used. So we're just going to move that together. And then we'll come back and add a few little accents to the rest of the letters in that word so that it ties together this part of the word with the big capital B. So let's add, why don't we add this one, because that's the main color. So we're just going to put some touches. Remember over here I said if you pick a side, so I'm going to do to the right side of each of these letters. I'm just going to add just little touches of this turquoise color. Just a little bit to tie it together. So I'm just going on the right side, and I'm not trying to make it perfect. That takes away the joy if you try and make it perfect. We just want to relax and have fun with this and just get our mind off everything else crazy that's going on in the world. And you can spend this time thinking about, what does this word mean? That's one of the things with the keyword is keywords are words that we need to focus in on, or we need to pay attention to, or we need to remember. So now I'm going to get a darker green that we also used in the big letter, and I'm going to do it on the left side. So if you have questions about any of this, put it in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer. Okay, so now I'm going to add this dark green just in some sporadic places on the left side of each of these letters. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I put that one on the left. It should have been on the right, but it's okay. Because when you're doing art, it's your painting. You could do what you want to with it. And if you make a mistake, you just work it into the design and create little happy accidents. Isn't that what Richard Simmons used to call it? Okay. Can you see how now these letters are now, it's like they're in the same family. They're starting to favor each other. But we don't want to take away from the big capital letter getting the focus, but we did need to add a little bit of something to tie both of these together. So do you think Bob Ross? That's it. Thank you, Bob Ross. Richard Simmons was the crazy exercise guy, wasn't he? Oh, goodness. He might have been painting too, huh? Okay, so now I'm going to call this orange color our accent color. And if you notice, at the top of the B, our flower has touches of this. I'm going to add a little bit more now that that's dry. I can do that. Okay, so now I want to add a few touches of this accent color to the rest of my letter. So I'm going to put a little bit up here at the top and I'm just going to put it at the top of each of these letters, and it's going to add just a touch of accent, but it's also going to help tie together the rest of the word, the word with our capital B. And this is basically a really nice sneak peek of what the ladies are going to be doing in May. We're going to be creating the alphabet, the entire alphabet, and then we're going to be writing some words using that and learning some other flowers. I've got some of the letters are going to be like a sunflower. Some of them are kind of like a cone flower. And we've got some letters that are just have like ivy growing around the letter, which is fun. And then some of them are tulips like this one. So to me, just stepping back and looking at it, what I see missing to tie all of this together now, I feel like I need some more of this turquoise color. So I'm going to go back now because I haven't used that yet on this. And it's the number 62 in this set. And I feel like where I need it is right there. Can you see that? So now I'm going to do a little bit there. So I'm on the right side of the letter, and now I'm doing a pattern where it's almost like up, down, which is very similar when you do the modern calligraphy. That's kind of how it works. It's up, down, up, down. So we're going to do that same technique, but we're doing it with our color. And to me, that pulls it together more. Do you see that as well? That I feel much better about it. So now let me pull this up. I don't have much water on my brush, just got a little bit, but it's just enough moisture to activate the color that's in this pencil and bring it around. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I want to see y'all try it. And if you want to learn the entire lesson, I want you to come join us over in Lemonade Creative Hearts. We're going to do the entire alphabet. We're also looking at Psalm 16. This is just a little sneak peek of what the ladies are getting. We're doing Psalm 16:5. And it would be so easy with this one to nest our verse around it. Let me go ahead and do that. Let's see. Let me pull this up. And I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to go, Lord. You are my cup of blessing. He's the blessing. You know, a lot of times, the pencil kit, yes, I'll show that. A lot of times we think about blessing as material things, but actually in the Bible, it's talking about He's the blessing. We already have the blessing if we have Him. It's Prima Marketing is the company, and they have 2 sets. This is spring and fall. I've got the other set. I don't remember what it's called, but I love using these pencils. It's a 12-piece set. Oh, yeah, Prima Marketing. Okay. So Here's a sneak peek of our lettering project. This is a sneak peek of May's encouragement kit. The kit's full of these kind of things. And let me swap it back and I'll show you my shirt is a sneak peek of our shirt for May. Brand new. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. And one last sneak peek. I almost forgot. I feel like these are my children and I don't want to leave anybody out. So this is our book, our inspiration book for our mixed media. And we actually put together a kit for this because I love this book. And the artist, the illustrator is Harrison Fisher, and he paints the most beautiful ladies. And so our kit is called Vintage Ladies. And so we're going to be drawing and painting some, but what we're using, these are examples of some of his. Isn't that gorgeous? But what we're using, let me show you because it's all in time for Mother's Day. We're using our own family photos. So this is a picture. This is my Meemaw. And so I chose to use this top picture as my inspiration photo for my painted lady. So sneak peek of that project. And I've got some old embroidery catalogs. This is from 1913. So the kit has some of those in there, has a page from this book. And then we've made some reproductions of these ladies, 3 ladies. So you can use them for reference. These are royalty free. You can even find them online. And then this is a sneak peek of my project. Okay. I'm not going to show you the whole thing yet. Got to let my ladies do theirs first. But that's what we're doing. We're thinking about the ladies who have influenced us in our life. And we all have them. Who has their fingerprints on your life story? Who has helped you along the way? Think about those ladies. How can you honor them? Do something for them. Where do we go to order a shareable kit? I would love to show you. I had it in the comments, but for some reason, it did not show up. So let me just do it right now. Here's our website. And let's see. Yeah, it's not. I'll put I thought I might could see it on here. If you type encouragement kit, it's on the main page of the website. I would love to send you one. And I'll be back because we just got everything made. So I'll be back with another live probably on Thursday to show you what we've made to go inside this month's kit. And if you go ahead and order, we should be able to get it to you so you can use it as a Mother's Day gift, or you could use it as a gift for yourself and decorate your home. And we include enough of cards like this that you can share it with others. If you're one of those that loves to give gifts, I love to give gifts. It's especially good for those people who like to share things. All right. Thank y'all for stopping by to spend your lunch with me and talk about what we're working on for y'all. We try and have a theme every month, and we spread that theme across all of our different I keep calling them children, all of our different groups, because they are like children. They're precious to me. So we've got something for everybody. So if you're a gift giver, we've got these kits, encouragement kits for you. If you like to do scripture journaling, or you want to memorize scripture or read more scripture, our Lemonade Creative Hearts group is perfect for that. We're every month writing out verses and hymns and anything we can do to renew our mind and just help us get more truth into our mind and heart. And then the mixed media group, we're painting something every month, and I'm excited about this project with the vintage ladies, and it's going to carry over into next month as well. We're going to be doing some dresses in next month with some different time periods. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Thank y'all for being here. I hope you have a good rest of the day. And don't forget, let me know if you were watching. I'd love to know where you were watching from. And if you're watching the replay, let me know so I can say hey to you. All right. And I'll be back. Watch for me on Thursday. All right. Because I want to show you this kit. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you Thursday.